Sorry, that's a leftover.
Good.
I never took out.
Hi.
Hi.
Ann asked me if I wanted to sermonize. Oh, wait, I'm going to need these. And I immediately thought, yes. But I said, maybe. Because I have a lot of opinions, and I found that life works much better if I don't share those usually.
So are you just sitting down?
Well, I've just found that, if you share those opinions and everybody agrees, we all think like, oh, we're so great, we all agree. You're so smart. And if you don't agree, then that car ride home is just going, oh my God, can you believe what he thought about sex or politics or religion or parenting? So I start this hoping you all have nice, quiet rides home today. Look, I printed this like size 18. I might be able to read it. I'm 15 years into parenting, and that's 29 total parenting years with Co at 15, Kate 13, 8 for Kush, and 3 for Kia. So I'm like, okay, that's 39 years. That's a lot. Today, I'm going to try to talk about where many of us start our journey in parenting. Hit 3 points that I think of when I'm having troubles, and then finish with a great story of a friend of mine. Where we begin, much of parenting is connected to hopes and fears. My pastor at a former church was baptizing a child, and he was up there, and it was beautiful baby, all wrapped in white, and he had the water, and he baptized, and he turned to the parents, and he goes, may we bless and cherish this child at this day. And he goes, this child will bring you great joy and great pain. And the whole congregation lost it, but it's so true. There's not one. You get both. We hope for the healthy child. We hope they hit the milestones. We hope they have solid poop and recognize faces and turn when you yell from behind to check their hearing. Speaking, walking, learning, starting school, making friends. And then it's those repetitive years of learning and making friends and learning and making friends. And be safe, depending where you're living, be more safe than others. I'm now preparing for driving with Co, and I'm fearful of accidents, but I'm hopeful for another driver in the family. So soon it will be drinking and leaving to parts unknown. And I tell them to be careful. Co went away last year to horse camp, and I gave him the speech I give my college students. When we're a teenager, we and an adult and a child, we need a lot of luck to go along with skills to make it. And every time you are out there with your friends and it's 10 at night and you're wide awake and you're thinking, we're gonna go do X. We're crazy, wild young men. We're gonna go do X. I really want you to think of all the things that can go wrong when you're doing X. And then I want you to think, if I come to the hospital to pick you up because you broke a bone or you're having your stomach pumped or you're at the police station in handcuffs, am I gonna say, Co, it's okay, man, accidents happen, there's no way you could have seen this coming? Or am I gonna say, what idiot thought this was a good idea, and why did you go along with it? Very simple, that's what I tell them. Which leads me to my first, we're just gonna do this. My first point, my number one job, raising good adults. That's it, that's my mission statement. I'm gonna raise good adults, that's what I'm trying to do. And it's not always fun and it's not easy, but I think it's my goal. And it's pretty easy to get the kids on the same page. Because I always want to be on the same team. We're not against you, I'm on your team. So I say, do you want to be a good student? Yeah, me too, I want you to be a good student. You want to get along in a group? Okay, we agree on that. I want you to be able to follow your dreams. They want to follow their dreams. I want you to be a good member of society. It's easy, we're like, oh yeah, no problem, we all agree. But then they feel that I'm being crazy. Because I'll say, you got to redo that homework because it's chicken scratch. And if I can't read it, I don't want your teacher to read it. Oh, I'm being so unfair. You're being so unfair, Dad. And then I'm saying, there's no computers in the house except on the weekend. You know, if you need to turn it on for homework, fine, but it's in the family room. I get to see it. Dad, you're being so unfair. You're being so unfair. I find that my kids, when they are in front of a screen, whether it's a TV or a computer or a DS, they lose all social skills. When that thing turns off, they're just mean and nasty, and I don't have the time during the week to put up with mean and nasty kids. So on the weekend, if I can work it out where like right before bedtime, go have bad dreams, but don't bother me with your bad attitude. So that's just one of our rules. Kate, one year I had Kate in gymnastics and it was hard and she wanted to quit. And I'm like, no, you got to make it to the end of the season. You got to make it to the end of the season. Because sometimes it's getting through the rough parts that make you appreciate it. And if it's all easy, you're not going to appreciate anything. My children will tell me that I want you to be happy. And they're like, what will make me happy is TV, Dad. I'll be so happy if you just let me watch TV. You were the best. And I'm like, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I know that will make you happy right now. We always say it turns their brain to mush. I go, I just can't have your mushy brains in the house. I'm not working for this moment in time. I'm working for good adults. And I think that happiness will come through actions, and happiness will come through working hard. I don't have a book on this. I work off my experience. And I'm happy at work. I'm happy with friends. I'm happy with solving problems in interesting ways that I can go, that's so cool. You know, when we build stuff, and we can just look at it and go, oh, that's a good idea. You came up with that? That's a good idea. Those are things that make me happy. So that's what I try to transfer to them, being part of a team. Every job can be done well. I don't care if you're mopping a floor or if you're writing code on a computer. Everything can be done with skill and grace or sloppy and haphazard. So if they're doing a job, do it with skill and grace and finish the job. You don't have to do it the rest of your life. If you want to move on and do something else, but finish this job first. Don't walk out in the middle. Finish your job. Boy, I start hearing my dad voice. Finish your job. That's how I get with the kids. Okay, don't panic over getting things right, because there ain't no right. Don't worry. I was at a 3-year-old birthday party for one of Kate's friends, and for the last 3 weeks, all I've been talking about is parenting. So I'm asking people like, hey, well, how do you parent? What are you worried about? And this woman's like, I'm just worried I'm not getting it right. She goes, everything. I'm just worried I'm not getting it right. And we can question every decision we make throughout the day. Will they be warm enough in the clothes we put them on? Will the other parents judge me because Kia's hair is a disaster? Should they start kindergarten this year or next year? Do they really need braces? Because it's only 3 teeth, and I don't think anybody will notice. Do I get them vaccinated? How do I deal with a bully? And when I give them advice about a bully, why don't they ask me anymore? Did I solve it? Or are they just like, you're an idiot, I'm never going to ask you again? Am I overprotective, underprotective, perfectly protective? Yeah. It's so easy to get the worries and worry about everything. And I know if I have the worries, I'm just going to pass it on to those kids, and they're going to get the worries. Hutch tells a great story about how we think of our worries as boulders coming down this mountain. And they're giant boulders, and we're standing at the bottom of the hill, and the boulders are rolling down, and it's like, am I going to pass this test? Is the noise the car is making going to make it blow up? And what if I'm not home when the kids get off the bus, or the kids don't like their teacher, and all these boulders are coming down and coming down, coming down. And in the end, only one boulder will probably hit us. All the rest are just going to go whipping by, so you don't have to worry about every boulder. And if you worry about every boulder, all it does is make you weak and tired and unprepared. So I'm trying to get the kids to get enough sleep and to do their homework and be prepared. So when something does hit you, you deal with it then. And you know about it and you think about it, but you can't have a constant state of anxiety. Take care of your body. Oh, here's what I think they should learn. Take care of your body. Do your homework. Learn to cook in the kitchen. Learn to be able to make your own food. Learn to look after your friendships. Be ready. Aren't you going to tell me when I'm 13 minutes in? Okay. I love that because I got through this and I'm like, oh, look at, I don't worry at all. I'm just like, I worry all the time, right? It's just such a lie. I got to there and I was like, oh, you're such a liar. You're such a worrier. Every time the kids leave here, I sing the going out song and I never sing the words. I always sing it just loud enough for Unch to hear. As you leave this friendly place, please don't bring your family disgrace. May the lessons which you learn make you a better kid when you return. And it changes every time, but I'm always like, oh my God, please, I don't want to get called out halfway through or hear Kia screaming out there. I'm just like, I got to go get it. So I worry, but I don't worry about being perfect. There's nowhere in my world I'm trying to be perfect. I'm trying to get through it. I'm trying to hope that of the hundreds of decisions I make in a month, that most of them are getting them in the right direction. And if they're getting in the right direction, I'm going to end up with those good adults. Do the best you can with the tools at your disposal. Number 3, things could be so much worse. We are so lucky. Even the worst, we were like this morning, I'm like putting everything together, printing everything out. We're like, okay, here we go. Kids, in the car. We go out, all the kids are sitting in the car. I'm like, all the kids are in the car. Get in the car. Battery's dead. Battery's just completely dead. So then we have 6 people in the Prius. We're like, who goes on whose lap? Oh, that belt hasn't been used in 6 years. There's no other clips. Just hold him down. Just go hold him down. So we made it, but if anybody has a free seat going back up, it would be better if we spread out on the way home. But even that, like, whatever. We have 2 cars. We got here. We're so lucky to live in this world, this environment. I'm so lucky to have a job where I can be in this community. The dangers my kids face, for the most part of the dangers I faced, I think, they're dealing with physical accidents and bullying and unwanted, unprepared sexual encounters, drugs and alcohol, driving tests, drinking. I grew up with those, so I kind of get them. I don't know, but I get it. I'm not so good with the internet time and brains turning to mush, but I'm trying to figure it out and getting them through that. I'm blessed with not dealing with personally with hunger or unsafe drinking water, or gangs, or political riots in the streets. We are just so freaking lucky to be here. And I always want to tell the kids how lucky they are, so they don't get spoiled. One of the first things our kids learn, and it's young, it's like a year, we say, what does whining get you? And they say, nothing. Whining gets you nothing. If you want something, ask nicely and maybe. I am so proud of parents who leave grocery stores with screaming children. And the kids are just screaming like, I want the candy. And the parents are like, no, you're not getting it. We're walking out. And I'm like, good for you. You go. Because parents are so worried, like, oh, people are going to think I'm awful to my child. I'm like, no way. Don't let them blackmail you. Rotten children blackmail you. You need to be grateful for what you have. Okay. I'm cruising, right? What time is it?
You're at 13.
Oh, perfect. That's my last story. It's 3 minutes long. Parenting doesn't stop. And that's a great one that I'm learning more as I get older. And you think like, okay, my kids, you go through all those words like learn, have friends, get out of college, get a job. Okay, you got a job. Find a good partner. Oh, you found a good partner. You have health insurance. And you're like, ah, my job's done. They're done. They're gone. And then they get a divorce. Or then they lose their job. And all that anxiety comes back. It doesn't end. No, I know from hearing people, like people come up and say, I am just so happy my son just got married. I'm like, really? How old is he? 52. He got a divorce when he was 41. He's been living with this girl for who knows how long. I'm so happy. And I'm like, oh my God, it never ends, does it? My good friend Jim, he's just a genius. And he has 3 beautiful daughters who are in their late 20s, early 30s. And they're getting older. And they're all seeing great guys. And he's like, they're just not moving forward with their life. And he said, I have all this stuff. I have 8 mountain bikes. I have 4 canoes and 3 kayaks and all this mountain climbing gear. I want to take kids out and teach them and hand my stuff down. But they're like, Dad, we're happy. Why would we move on? We're happy. We're just dating. We're all happy. And he's like, oh, okay. And he's smart enough to know that if he just says, you need to get married, nothing will happen. The resistance will come. So he got on the Social Security website and he types in, okay, my age, I was born in this year. I have probably 22 more years to live. Okay, 22 more years. That's 1,144 weeks. Okay, he goes on Amazon. He finds this beautiful glass vase, really tall. He buys 1,600 beautiful marbles, all different colors. He gets a little neighborhood kid to count out 1,140 marbles because 4 weeks has gone by, and put them in this vase, big, huge thing, puts it in the middle of the house. And so the kids come home for the holidays, and they're like, Dad, artwork, what's up? Like, this is beautiful. He's like, oh, thanks. They're like, oh, yeah, because he's not an artwork guy. Like, it's like next to the mountain bikes is this vase. And he goes, yeah, that's how many weekends I have left in my life. And they're like, what? He goes, yeah, I figured out Social Security, how many weekends I have left, marbles, had the neighborhood kid do it because I didn't want to count them out, put them in there. That's how many weekends I should have left in my life. He goes, every weekend I take one and I look at it and I go out in the yard and I just wing it. I just throw it because it's gone. And the girls were like, that is so depressing. How can you be so depressing? And within a year, 2 of his daughters were married and one of them was pregnant. And he said, I'm not saying it was the marbles, but it didn't hurt. And he's now every weekend when his wife's like, hey, let's go see my family. He goes, I don't know if I want to spend a marble on that. and it's changed us where now Andre and I are like, I don't know if that's worth a marble. Do I really want to do that? Or we'll have a really good weekend and we'll be like, that was an excellent marble. That was a well-used marble. So I guess the 4th thing is that it doesn't go on forever, and make use of the time now and jump on it. You're just not. It goes fast. It goes faster and faster, right? It goes faster and faster. So like, oh, I always thought I'd do this. You better do it. Do it. Okay, good. Thanks.